world that's constantly screaming at us to get more, do more, be more. But what if the real secret to happiness isn't about adding more, but about understanding what's already enough? Today, we're diving into this really powerful idea, the art of defining what enough truly means for you. Let's get into it.
All right, so let me just start by asking you a question. And it's a question we almost never ask ourselves. How much is actually enough for you to be happy? It sounds so simple, right? But really grappling with that could be the key to finally getting off that hamster wheel of just wanting more and more and more.
And yeah, that's exactly why so many of us feel like we're on this endless treadmill. This constant push for more stuff, more achievements, more of everything. It's exhausting, isn't it? But what if the problem isn't what we think it is?
Here's a really powerful way to look at it. What if the problem isn't that you don't have enough? What if it's that you've never actually sat down and defined what enough even looks like for you? Just thinking about it that way, well, that can be a total game changer.
So naturally, this brings up the idea of simplicity. And I know, for a lot of people, that word just screams deprivation or scarcity. But we're about to flip that idea on its head and redefine what it really means to live a simple and truly intentional life. So be honest, when you hear that word simplicity, what's the first image that pops into your head? Is it like a bare, minimalist apartment with one chair? Or a life of just constant restraint, saying no to everything that seems fun? Yeah, for way too long, simplicity has been sold to us as a punishment. Okay, so let's blow up that old idea. The old way of thinking was all about what you're losing, deprivation, restraint, having less. But the new idea, oh, it's all about what you gain. We're talking about gaining clarity, gaining intentionality, and gaining purpose. It's not about what you lose, it's about getting laser focused on what actually matters.
Okay, so here's the absolute key. True simplicity isn't about the what. It's not about counting your possessions. It is all about the why. Why did you choose that thing? Why are you saying yes to that plan? It's a shift from an external scorecard to an internal compass.
So that all sounds pretty good, right? But how do we actually do it? Well, it comes down to using this idea of why as a brand new filter for pretty much every decision we make, big or small. And here it is. This is the filter. It's a simple two-part question you can pull out anytime. Before you buy something, before you commit to a plan, before you say yes to an invitation. Just ask, first, does this serve me? And second, does this bring me closer to who I want to be? That's it.
And you know what's amazing? When you start running your choices through that filter, something magical starts to happen. You realize you need way less than you ever thought. And it's not because you're denying yourself things, no. It's because you're finally fulfilling yourself with what actually matters. You start to zero in on what genuinely brings you joy.
And that leads us to maybe the biggest payoff of living this way. It's not about what you toss out, it's about what you gain. And what you gain is something that is incredibly rare and valuable in our world today. The reward is space. And I don't just mean physical space, like a cleaner closet, although, hey, that's a nice bonus. We're talking about something so much deeper. We're talking about mental space, emotional space, just room to breathe. So what does this space give you? It gives you space to just breathe without feeling that constant pressure. Space to actually feel your emotions instead of pushing them aside. Space to be present, right here, right now. And maybe most importantly, space to build the life you choose, not the one that just happens to you. It is so easy to get sucked into the comparison trap, isn't it? Especially online. You're scrolling, you see what other people have, and suddenly you feel like you're falling behind. But here's the thing. There will always be someone with more. Always. The real key is remembering that their highlight reel has absolutely nothing to do with your story. Which brings us to the final and I think most empowering part of all this. After everything, the question is, who gets to decide?